Good morning. This is Angela. Today's a cup of tea. So, today's topic is really fun, really sort of about fun. And actually, it's really about joy. More and more, I'm talking to people who are wanting to find joy in their lives because I honestly had somebody tell me a couple weeks ago, I think I haven't even listened to my heart in so long, I don't even know how to. I don't know how to have joy anymore. I don't know how to find joy in my life. Wow, that's huge. Huge, 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 huge. Because what if we started looking at it in the way of maybe we're here to have fun? When do we do the best? When does our heart sing the most? Is when we are in the practice and in the habit of finding joy in our lives. Now, I don't care what you have going on in your life. I don't care what. Because all of us have had challenges. We're all working through a whole bunch of stuff. We're doing this at this huge accelerated pace, really sort of like the Roadrunner. And so we might as well enjoy it like the Roadrunner does too. We are going so quickly and things are changing so fast that part of the joy is in letting go of what we have that doesn't serve us anymore. And I've talked about that, till I can turn blue in the face. But the key is also to learn how to find joy in every moment. I'll tell you a story. When I was in corporate for 17 years, corporate America, and I've talked about this before, and I got to the position of paycheck I always wanted, and I had the prestige, and I had the department and international position, all that kind of stuff. And I was miserable. I was miserable because I didn't even know how to find joy anymore because I had worked so much and had to worry about so much when I wasn't working about work that I barely had time. And I had the money to pay for house cleaners and this and to pay for good vacations. But you know what? Well, what's 1 week a year, right? Or 2 weeks a year when the rest of the year you're just sort of miserable. So many people are doing that right now. And I forget because I've been gone now for 6 years and I've lost that. What taught me about the joy in every moment had to do with actually when I first left, I started this organic herb nursery. And it was sort of a little nutso, because it was totally something I had never done before, but it was fun. It was so different and it was so amazing because I loved the plants and I loved working with herbs. And I will tell you that it was then when I found myself. It was then when I was able to start turning inward, when I was in those greenhouses working with the plants. And after I got through the chatter going, oh my God, do you miss people? And all this panicking and stuff. Once I got past all that, I was able to, I remember having some just beautiful moments in the greenhouses. And just by appreciating like beautiful plants or just the beautiful energy coming from the plants. And this was before I was ever working on this actively, on this journey. But I remember that I would connect with the plants, not only with that, but like there would be little lizards because we were in North Carolina and get little, what they call in Carolina anoles, little green lizards. They're very cute, or skinks, and I would be sitting there and there'd be this little baby one, and it would be so small that it would be on this leaf, and it wouldn't even be making the leaf dip down because it'd be so small and so light, and it would be just sitting there looking at me, and we would just sort of like say hello to each other, and it was like an amazing experience, an amazing moment of joy. So this even makes tears come to my eyes. But also, things like this, or the fascination of looking at a praying mantis, which are the most bizarre looking animals in many respects, are insects. But the way that they look at you, it's sort of like conscious thought, and they turn their head and look at you and they're checking you out, and it's such an interesting connection. And when you start connecting like that, and this moment of peace and calm, and there's nothing more than what is in this moment, and you can accept exactly everything as it is, and not only that, but you can see the details and the beauty in every moment, how much more joy can you have than that? And so I never even knew I needed that. I didn't even know I had been missing that. But you know what? For all that I went through and, letting go of the nursery a couple of years later because the economic downturn, all that kind of stuff, losing essentially most of our nest egg because of it, I have no regrets because it made me come back to myself. It made me remember how to have joy in every single moment. And it didn't matter about anything else. It didn't matter about how tight the finances were. It didn't matter about, the zillion other things going on in life. When I found that moment And I was able to start looking at everything right in that clarity of where I am right now. And I could find the beauty, the absolute breathtaking beauty in every single moment. Wow, what a difference the world started to make. And I guess that was really leading up to when I had what I call my Grand Awakening and all this started. And of course, I look back and I know that I had so perfectly planned it out for myself and the way it all laid out, but I didn't even realize it at the time. However, what's happened is so many of us, we've gotten lost in this chaotic swirl of the 3D existence here in this world, and how we are so lost. Our egos have gotten lost with anxiety and fear and anger and resentment and regrets and rejections, and we're worrying and thinking about the past and the future, that we forget about this moment and we forget about finding joy. What does the word enjoy mean? In joy. In joy. I am in joy right now. And so we can learn, we can get ourselves back in the habit of finding joy in every day. And we first can do that, and then we can find joy in every moment. And I promise you we can, regardless of what other challenging things are going on in your life. So you start with, what is it that makes me happy? Sometimes, like I said, I've had people say, I don't even know. I haven't listened to my heart in so long. I don't even know how to listen to it anymore. Well, and this is separate from talking about like finding your highest and best path, but it's on the road to get there. It's on the road to being happy all the time, and that would obviously make your heart and soul sing. So one step at a time. This is sort of like a baby step kind of thing, because, and I had sort of glossed over it before, but realized it's so important to take this baby step of finding joy in your day, finding joy in your moment. Taking a moment to stand outside. And you know what's funny is many times just going outside for a couple minutes can give you joy. Looking at the sunset, looking at the sunrise. In parts of this country, this time of year, there's snow, and just looking at the beauty and quiet and peace of the snow. Even if it's for a couple moments before you get irritated about having to shovel out your walkway or having to drive in it, But a lot of times nature really does that for us. I mean, I really attribute my nursery and that period of time when I was working with the plants so heavily and so many hours every day that to connecting me back into myself. So that's a really big one. If you could take a walk every once in a while, if you could just stand out on a back deck or on a patio and look outside and breathe in the fresh air and get some form of nature, like observe the flowers, observe the birds and the wildlife. Today I was coming back in this morning. I have to take one of my kids to school every morning, and I got back in, and I'm walking up my walkway, and I have all these bushes on the side, and the bushes are they could a couple of feet tall, about 2.5 feet tall, and out of the bushes I see this daffodil, and I'm like, and it looks like somebody literally had stuck it into the bushes, because I'm going, there's no way a daffodil would grow that tall to bloom. And I'm looking at it, and I stopped and I walked all the way back around the bushes to look, and wouldn't you know it, but that daffodil really had the gumption to grow right through the bushes so that it could bloom above them. So it was like, 3 feet tall daffodil. How cool is that? So, if we can notice these things around us and just notice like the beauty and the interesting stuff and just connecting into it, that sometimes is all we need to bring us joy in a moment. And if we can say, today I'm going to find one thing, I'm going to take 5 minutes and find one thing that brings me joy, whether it's listening to music, looking at art, looking at a book, going outside, playing a game, but something that truly makes your heart happy. And it doesn't have to be, the whole what's your highest and best path and making your heart and soul sing, but it's the little things, because when we can start finding the joy in every single moment and all the little things and the beauty and all the little things in our lives, then we can so much easier get to that highest path, the highest and best path, and that soul's purpose and what makes our heart and soul sing. So that's your homework. Your homework is to do that this week. Every day, take 5 minutes and do something that makes you have joy, that allows you to have joy. And it's a tough assignment, but you can do it. So Today's clearing is all about joy. So would you like here's all the legalese for the following clearing. Would you like all of the following without trauma, drama, and illness, without creating or recreating situations for illustration or experience, and all with absolute ease, grace, balance, harmony, joy, fun, bliss, excitement, adventure, humor, and love? And would you like all of it for all versions of you, all times, all places, into the ever-expanding universe, to infinity and beyond? And all information, would you like all information to come to you via instantaneous and comprehensive download with fully conscious understanding in the moment version of you and timeline from which it is requested? And all of Creator's truths and understandings and clarity that come through from this clearing, would you like to replace your own with Creator's version of all of those for divine alignment? And that being said, let's move on. Would you like Creator's truth and understanding on the definition of joy, on how to find what brings you joy? Would you, and I'm hearing this is really big, would you like to dissolve, resolve, clear, and release all etheric binding agreements that cause you or require you to separate work from joy, to separate certain parts of your life from joy, to have joy separate from other parts of your life, that require you to get the work done first before you can have joy, to put everything else aside, to put joy aside until you get other stuff done? Would you like to resolve, dissolve, clear, and release all agreements that are related to that? To thank all parties, to get Creator's truth and understanding as to how it has served you to have those agreements, how it will serve you to be without them. To thank all parties involved that have been involved with the agreements, to open the doors to apology and forgiveness in all direction. To download the feelings and understanding of having apology and forgiveness in all direction to and from all parties within the agreement. Would you like to pull all beliefs relating to I must get my work done first before I enjoy life? I must work separately from having joy. My work and enjoyment must be separate. Or I must get other things done before I'm allowed to have enjoyment, to have joy in my life. I don't know how to find the joy in every moment. I don't remember how to do that. I am not allowed to do that. Let's see, all of the beliefs that are related to all of that. Pull all regrets, rejections, resentments, anger, anxieties, and fears, all related to those beliefs from those agreements. Pull the energy and memory of those from the cellular level, as well as all self-limiting thoughts, words, and actions related to all this from the cellular level. Transform it to Creator's light, send it back to Creator. Close those receptors absolutely and permanently and open new ones. Saturate the cells with the highest vibration of Creator's unconditional love. And download the beliefs. I am allowed to fully assimilate and integrate joy in work. I'm allowed to enjoy what I call work. I'm allowed to enjoy all parts of my life. I am allowed to, I know how to, and I'm allowed to, and I can assimilate joy into every single part of my life. And I know how to do that. And to download all of Creator's, the knowledge and understanding and the feelings of knowing how to do that and having that joy in every moment and every day of your life. And then also download the feelings of knowing that you're worthy, deserving, and able to, that it's possible, allowed, okay, and safe to, that you're ready, willing, and able to, and that you have that in your life right now. Would you like to write it off as completed in the Akashic Records? Heal, resolve, and clear the timelines in all directions to infinity with the violet and platinum flames, and offer to any and all ancestors and descendants as they so choose to accept. All that you need to do for that is take a deep breath, close your eyes, be open to receive, and say, yes, joy. And that's it. Have a great one. We'll talk to you next week. I am actually going on this beautiful mid-70s day in North Carolina in February out to a mountain that is calling me. So we'll talk to you next week. This is Angela with Today's A Cup of Tea.